The mission was simple: ride out, gather intel, and return alive. But in a world ruled by monsters, simplicity never lasts long. As the scouts push beyond the walls for the first time since reclaiming Eren, they find themselves face to face with a new terror, one that thinks, hunts, and has a singular target. What started as a strategic expedition becomes a desperate fight for survival, and trust will be tested at every turn. This video contains major plot spoilers from the 57th Exterior Scouting Mission arc of Attack on Titan. If you're not caught up or want to experience the story firsthand, consider watching the anime before continuing. Otherwise, let's dive straight into the action. A month after the 104th Cadets joined the Scout Regiment, they set out on their first major expedition. Under Commander Erwin Smith's leadership, the Scouts departed from Kalaneth District for the 57th Exterior Scouting Mission, aiming to reach Shiganshina District. Erwin's long-range scouting formation advanced as planned, a forward-facing semicircle, with soldiers spaced evenly apart, but within visual range. The formation's goal was clear: avoid Titans whenever possible. Whenever forward scouts spot a Titan, they fired a red smoke signal. Others relayed the signal until it reached Commander Erwin, who would then issue a green smoke signal to reroute the platoon and avoid confrontation. Black smoke signaled the need for combat against unpredictable abnormals. The strategy was working until Armin's group encountered something unexpected: a female Titan. Armin immediately sensed something was different. This wasn't a normal Titan or even an abnormal. This one was intelligent. Like the armored Titan, the colossal Titan, and Eren, this was a human in a Titan's body. Armin's squad tried to bring it down, but they were overpowered. He attempted to flee, only for the female Titan to chase after him. Just as Armin was about to be caught, the female Titan grabbed his hood and stared at his face. She wasn't trying to kill him. She was searching for someone. Then she took off again. Reiner soon arrived, and the two gave chase. John later joined them and fired a yellow smoke signal, an emergency alert, since Armin was unable to do so. John revealed the right wing had been devastated by the Titan horde. Armin concluded the female Titan had led the horde there on purpose. When John asked if she was an abnormal, Armin explained she wasn't. Unlike typical Titans who eat humans, she deliberately killed them, targeting vital spots. Armin believed she was the same person who brought Titans when the colossal and armored Titans breached the wall. She had a goal: to attack humanity. As they continued the pursuit, the group realized the female Titan was likely searching for someone, possibly Eren. John suggested they distract her to protect the command squad. If the formation collapsed, everyone would die. Armin warned Jean that the Titan could kill them all in an instant, but John wouldn't back down. He couldn't betray the dead who gave their lives. He knew what had to be done. The group pulled up their hoods, hiding their faces in hopes the Titan wouldn't risk killing someone who might be Eren. When they noticed she was slowing down, they decided to act before she sped up again. Their plan: distract her long enough for the platoon to retreat. Killing her wasn't an option. She was too smart, too aware of her weak points. During the distraction, Armin was injured and John nearly killed. In a desperate moment, Armin managed to divert the Titan's attention. Reiner seized the opportunity and lunged at her nape. But the female Titan anticipated the move. She caught him in her hand and crushed his head with her thumb. They thought Reiner was dead. But surprisingly, Reiner burst free from her hand and pulled Armin away. The group had bought just enough time to escape. As they retreated, the female Titan ran off, but not aimlessly. Armin noticed it had changed direction. She was heading straight toward Eren's position. John, Armin, and Reiner managed to survive, but were left with only one horse. Jean tried calling for his horse, knowing they needed to keep moving. Time was running out, and staying in one place too long would be dangerous. If they couldn't find a solution soon, someone might have to be left behind. While John was focused on calling the horse, Armin kept thinking about the female Titan. Reiner interrupted his thoughts, reminding them that a decision had to be made. One of them might need to stay behind. Armin suggested trying to get help first, since a nearby squad might still be within range. John fired an emergency signal, hoping it would reach someone. Reiner said they would wait only 3 minutes before deciding who stays. Without hesitation, Armin offered to stay behind. but he asked that one of them deliver a message directly to Commander Erwin. But John told him to deliver it himself as someone was approaching. It was Krista, bringing an extra horse along with John's horse, which had run back on its own. She had seen the signal and rushed over. John's horse must have been frightened and ran off. Krista noticed that Armin was injured, but he assured her he was fine. Reiner was surprised by her bravery for coming after seeing the signal. Krista had been nearby when she saw John's horse and responded without delay. She was relieved that nothing worse had happened. With new hope, the group returned to the formation. As they caught up, they expected an order to retreat. But instead, green smoke signals were fired. This meant the route was changing and the operation would continue. They had no choice but to trust the command squad's decision. Armin fired a green signal to follow the new route. Levi's squad saw the green signal. Levi told Oluo to fire another green signal. Eren believed they were making steady progress, but he started to wonder if something had gone wrong. Soon, a scout arrived with a report. The right wing had been nearly wiped out, and their detection network was partly down. Eren became worried. Levi ordered Petra to pass the message to the left wing. Eren remained concerned, especially knowing Armin had been positioned on the right side. Suddenly, black smoke signals were fired, meaning an abnormal Titan had appeared. Levi told Eren to fire a signal as well. He was frustrated that Titans had managed to enter the formation so deeply. Eren imagined what might be happening below those black signals. Some squads were fighting the female Titan. They had tried attacking from different angles, hoping to bring her down, but she jumped and broke through their attack. Most of them were crushed. Only one scout escaped to report the sighting, but even he was caught soon after. Later, the command squad gave a new order. All squads were to move east. The soldiers wondered about the change. If they kept moving that way, they would enter the forest of giant trees. Then, at the front, the command squad entered the forest. Commander Erwin ordered that only the center cart team would pass through it. All others were to go around the forest. The scouts questioned why they were changing direction and straying from their original route. They only knew it was by Erwin's command. It was clear he had a plan. Armin, John, Reiner, Krista, and other rookies were told to stay above the trees and stop any Titan from entering. They didn't understand the reason. Mikasa and Connie discussed the situation. Mikasa explained that the formation would break apart because of the forest, forcing side squads to go around it and lose their ability to spot Titans. Connie wondered why they didn't just avoid the forest entirely. Mikasa thought it was possible the formation had been pushed into the forest due to a threat on the right wing of the formation. The scouts waited above the trees, keeping an eye on the area. John and Armin talked about how they were following orders without knowing the reason. John asked if Armin understood what was happening. A 5-meter Titan approached, and Armin watched from above, still unsure of the commander's goal. But instead of focusing on the Titan, Armin began to wonder if the female Titan was following Eren, and whether Commander Erwin already knew. Inside the forest, Levi's squad had questions. They felt unprepared, since they couldn't detect Titans this deep without support on the sides. Protecting the wagons would be impossible now. Levi simply stated that they couldn't do those things anymore. Eren asked why. Levi explained that the large trees made the forest ideal for using ODM gear. Eren was impressed that they were turning the terrain into an advantage. But even Levi's squad didn't seem to know the full plan. Not even Levi himself. Back above the trees, Armin thought of a theory. If the female Titan was after Eren, then the only reason for bringing the platoon into the forest was to face her directly. Commander Erwin must be planning to confront her here. John broke Armin's focus. Their mission was to keep Titans out of the forest. That didn't mean they had to fight them. Below them, a group of Titans wandered the forest edge. All the squads waited in position. In Levi's squad, a black signal was fired behind them. Levi ordered everyone to prepare their swords. They would only have 1 moment to act. Then, the female Titan appeared, chasing them from behind. Levi told the team to move faster. The female Titan was gaining on them. Petra urged Levi to switch to ODM gear. Other squads attempted to slow the female Titan, buying time for Levi's squad to escape. But they were all crushed in the process. Levi's squad was under pressure. They waited for orders, unsure of what to do next. The female Titan was closing in fast. Levi remained silent. The team grew more anxious as the Titan neared. Levi suddenly gave an order to cover their ears and fired his gun. Levi fired an acoustic signal. He reminded his squad that their mission was to protect Eren at all costs, even if it meant sacrificing themselves. The squad followed Levi's orders and continued riding forward on horseback, but Eren was anxious. The female Titan was getting closer. Reinforcements arrived, only to be struck down one by the Titan. Eren worried that if no one helped them, the reinforcements would all die. Gunther told Eren to stay focused and keep looking ahead. Eld ordered him to maintain full speed. Eren couldn't understand why Squad Levi wasn't trying to stop the female Titan. He believed that if they had helped, their allies might have survived. Despite Petra's warnings to follow orders, Eren struggled. He didn't want to depend on others. He wanted to fight back, to transform into a Titan himself. Petra reminded him of their agreement, that he could only transform when his life was truly in danger. Levi told him that if he was going to transform, then he should go ahead. But Levi also explained that Eren's real strength didn't come from being a Titan. It came from being someone who could not be controlled, someone who would always fight back no matter the situation. Levi admitted that experience made them different. Eren had to choose, either trust himself or trust his squad. Levi said even he didn't always know what the right choice was, but Eren needed to choose the one he would regret the least. Eren almost transformed, but Petra begged him to trust them instead. Eren remembered a moment from the past, when Hanji experimented with his Titan power. They placed him in a dry well, thinking it would hold him if he lost control. Eren tried to transform but failed, only injuring himself with bite marks. Hanji and Levi checked on him. Levi reminded Eren that if he couldn't transform, their mission to seal Wall Maria would fail. The squad tried to comfort him, telling him not to rush and risk his life. Later, while holding a spoon, Eren accidentally transformed part of his hand. The squad panicked, drawing their weapons. Levi tried to calm them down. Hanji rushed in, excited about the transformation. But the rest of the squad was scared and angry. They believed Eren had broken their agreement and posed a threat to humanity. Eren yelled at them to stop, but tensions were high. Hanji touched the Titan arm and got burned. Eren then pulled away, detaching the Titan limb. Afterward, Eren felt uneasy. He realized the squad didn't fully trust him. Levi confirmed this, but said it was the reason he had chosen them. In battle, there was never enough information. Soldiers had to act quickly, relying on each other even with doubts. Levi said the squad probably felt guilty for drawing their blades at Eren. Later, Hanji explained the spoon incident. She showed them the Titan hand holding the spoon between two fingers. She believed that transformation wasn't just about injury. It required a clear goal. Eren agreed, recalling his past transformations had all been tied to specific tasks. The squad realized Eren didn't mean to break the rules. Regretful, they bit their own hands to show remorse and apologized. They admitted they were scared and wanted to rely on Eren, but that he also needed to rely on them. Trust had to go both ways. Back in the present, Eren saw the bite mark on Petra's hand, a sign of the trust they had built. The squad asked him again to decide. Eren chose to stay with the plan, even as their comrades died behind them. The female Titan was too fast. They couldn't outrun her. Still, no one turned back. They kept moving forward. Levi looked straight ahead, calm and focused. The rest of the squad followed his lead. Eren chose to trust them, just as they trusted him. The female Titan drew closer, then suddenly stopped. From the shadows, Commander Erwin appeared and gave the signal. Thunder spears fired from the trees. Dozens of cables pierced the female Titan, locking her in place with thick restraints. She was caught. Levi then told the squad to secure their horses farther ahead and prepare for mobility. He had to leave for now. Eld was left in charge and was ordered to hide Eren at a safe distance. Eren realized they were trying to capture the female Titan alive. The squad proudly spoke of the Scout Regiment's strength, and Eren was overwhelmed. Levi soon met with Commander Erwin. Erwin praised Levi for leading the Titan to the trap. But Levi gave credit to the rear squad, who gave their lives to buy them time. Thanks to them, they could now uncover who was inside the female Titan. Eren started wondering if the female Titan was just an abnormal or something like the colossal Titan. Before he could finish the thought, the squad urged him to keep moving ahead. Meanwhile, Commander Erwin and Captain Levi prepared to cut the female Titan carefully. Outside the forest, the other scouts were still holding back the Titans. Some Titans began climbing the trees, but the scouts outside were not worried yet. They knew they would get orders to retreat soon. However, they were curious about the loud sounds coming from inside the forest. While Armin and John were being chased by a climbing Titan, John believed that the scouts had lured the female Titan into the forest to capture it, or more precisely, the human inside it. That must have been the plan all along. Inside the forest, Eren questioned why the plan was kept a secret from the rookies, and even from Levi's squad. His words annoyed the others, who felt like the captain and commander didn't trust them. But Eld stepped in and admitted that Eren had a point. He suggested that the higher-ups were being careful, because there might be someone among them who could turn into a Titan or was spying for the enemy. John and Armin were also thinking along the same lines. Eld continued to explain that the commander might only have shared the operation details with soldiers who had survived the first Titan attack 5 years ago, trying to narrow down the suspects. That could explain who might have killed Sonny and Bean earlier. Eren remembered a time when Erwin had asked him what he thought the enemy truly was. While the squad tried to piece things together, the idea of an enemy hiding among them felt more disturbing than facing Titans. John disagreed with how the commander had handled things. He believed that if they had been told about a possible traitor, they would have acted differently. Armin, however, thought otherwise. He believed that choices always come with risk, and no one can predict the outcome. The commander had to choose between saving a few lives or protecting humanity inside the walls. He made a hard choice to sacrifice the few. Back inside the forest, Commander Erwin gave the signal to attack the female Titan's weak spot. But just as they tried to strike, her hand turned into a hard, crystal-like shield that blocked the attack. Levi grew furious, knowing how many lives had been lost trying to catch her. Suddenly, the female Titan let out a loud, strange scream. It wasn't random, it was a signal. Titans began charging into the forest from all directions. The scouts were shocked as the Titans ignored everything else and headed straight for the female Titan. Levi launched into action, attacking the oncoming Titans. A smaller Titan broke through the defense and bit into the female Titan. The Titans surrounded her, and soon she collapsed. Erwin realized that the enemy was willing to lose everything to protect their secret. The Titans devoured the female Titan's body, likely to destroy any evidence. With the mission failed, Erwin ordered a full retreat. Levi was upset, knowing that everything they fought for was slipping away. But Erwin told him to focus on getting back safely and to refill his gas and blades. The retreat signal was fired. All scouts began to fall back and prepare to return to base. Some were relieved, while others were unsure of what had just happened. Eren and Levi's squad believed they had successfully captured the person inside the female Titan. Petra thanked Eren for trusting them. Oluo, pretending to act like Levi, scolded Eren for being such a complainer. Eld joked about the time Petra and Oluo cried during their first battle, making Petra blush. Oluo bragged about having the highest Titan kill count, but Ganther reminded everyone to stay alert. They were still outside the walls. Suddenly, a green smoke signal was fired by a mysterious scout in a cloak. Ganther saw it and assumed it was Levi giving new orders. He fired a smoke signal in response, revealing their location. Not far away, the command group was also retreating. Hanji asked Erwin why he had ordered everyone to refill supplies. Erwin explained that although the female Titan had been eaten, he never saw the human inside get eaten. He believed the enemy might still be alive, possibly disguised among the soldiers, using stolen gear and a scout uniform. Back with Levi's squad, Gunther spotted someone nearby. Before he could react, the unknown person attacked and killed him. Commander Erwin explained that when the colossal Titan vanished during their previous battle, the person inside had already prepared their mobility gear. That allowed for a quick escape before the steam cleared. He believed the same thing could be happening again with the female Titan. However, Hanji disagreed. She pointed out that when Eren emerged from his Titan form, his gear was broken, his uniform was gone, and he could barely stand. It seemed unlikely that someone could escape so quickly after transforming. Erwin reflected that the female Titan had an ability to call other Titans by screaming. That unexpected skill was the reason their operation failed. They had underestimated the enemy. If there were different levels of control over Titan powers, then using Eren, who was still inexperienced, as the standard is a mistake. This new opponent required a different approach. Armin, John, and the others assumed the mission was a success because of the retreat signal. They believed the identity of the female Titan's operator had already been revealed. Still, they were confused why Commander Erwin had expected the female Titan to appear as soon as Eren left the walls. Armin started to connect the past events. During the earlier Titan invasion, the Titans suddenly stopped attacking. They didn't go after Eren when he sealed the breach at Trost. Something unexpected must have changed their focus. Armin believed it was Eren's transformation, and that someone present at that moment, someone who saw Eren turn into a Titan, was the true enemy. Back in the forest, Eren was shocked after seeing Gunther killed. Oluo grabbed him, and Eld told them they had no time to recover their horses. They needed to reach the headquarters as fast as possible. They suspected the person who attacked Gunther was the same one behind the female Titan. It was also possible there were multiple enemies. Eren panicked, thinking they had already caught the female Titan, but now the attacker had vanished. While Erwin discussed the possibility of the enemy staying fully functional after leaving their Titan form, the female Titan suddenly appeared again. She began chasing Eren and the squad. Eren was ready to fight, but Eld stopped him. Eld insisted that Eren should keep moving toward the headquarters while the rest of them handled the Titan. Erwin came to a realization. Against this kind of opponent, they could not win by following the usual strategies. They had to take big risks, even if it meant losing everything. Eren wanted to fight, but the squad believed that protecting his Titan power was the best option. Oluo questioned Eren's trust in them, and Petra reminded Eren to believe in their skills. Eren finally accepted their decision and sprinted ahead toward the headquarters. Eld, Oluo, and Petra launched a coordinated attack to hold back the female Titan. Their blades sliced through her skin as they tried to blind her. They no longer aimed to capture her. They wanted to end the threat. Each attack showed their skill and determination, but despite their efforts, the female Titan overpowered them. Eld was bitten, Petra was crushed underfoot, and Oluo was flung aside. Eren turned back and saw his squad being killed in front of him. Overcome by rage, he transformed into a Titan, no longer following orders. This had become personal. As the two Titans clashed, the forest shook with each blow. Eren fought with fury, landing powerful hits, driven by anger and loss. But the female Titan remained calm. She waited for the right moment, and then countered. In one swift move, she defeated Eren, biting into his nape and pulling him out of his Titan body. Mikasa arrived just in time to witness the female Titan escaping with Eren in her mouth. Filled with rage, she attacked from different angles, determined to stop her. Mikasa believed Eren was still alive, and she was not going to give up. As Mikasa fought, Captain Levi arrived and stopped her from getting too close. He told her to keep a safe distance. Levi noticed the female Titan slowing down. She seemed to be exhausted. He also saw that the female Titan had bitten off the entire nape of Eren's Titan body. Levi asked if Eren had survived, but Mikasa, already burning with anger, said nothing. Her silence spoke of her fear and determination. Mikasa told Levi that she believed Eren was still alive. She thought the female Titan was smart and had a purpose. If the Titan wanted to kill Eren, it could have done so easily. But instead, it was running while keeping him in its mouth. Levi, however, reminded her that if the Titan's goal was to eat Eren, then he might already be in its stomach. Even so, Mikasa stayed firm in her belief that Eren was alive. Levi hoped she was right. Mikasa blamed Levi for not protecting Eren better. Levi then realized that Mikasa was Eren's childhood friend. Knowing that, he quickly came up with a plan. They would not try to defeat the female Titan, since her ability to harden her skin made that impossible. Instead, Levi would handle the cutting while Mikasa created a distraction. Their only goal was to get Eren back before the Titan left the forest. They launched their attack. Levi moved so fast that the female Titan could not harden her skin in time. She was exhausted, and her nape was exposed. Mikasa had a clear shot, but the Titan stayed alert and tried to stop her. Levi saved Mikasa at the last moment by blocking the Titan's hand with his foot, though he injured his leg. The female Titan suddenly took Eren out of her mouth. Levi, even while injured, managed to grab him. Levi ordered Mikasa to retreat. Eren was alive, and that was all that mattered. He reminded her that the mission was never about revenge. As they left the forest, Levi noticed something strange. The female Titan was crying. Back in the Kalaneth district, families waited anxiously for the scouts to return, unaware of what had happened. The surviving soldiers were preparing to head back. They began collecting the bodies of their fallen comrades. Levi looked over the remains of his squad. Armin and Jean talked about their dead friends, feeling the weight of their own survival. Connie wondered how long they could keep going, while Sasha was simply grateful they were still alive. Commander Erwin counted the losses. 5 bodies could not be recovered because the Titans had destroyed them. He marked those soldiers as missing. Scouts nearby spotted Titans not far from the forest, but none were heading their way at the moment. Erwin ordered the group to move immediately, but some scouts stopped him. They wanted to recover the body of a fallen comrade. But Levi stepped in. He said confirming death was enough, and bringing the body back would not change anything. Erwin agreed, and made the final decision. The bodies would be left behind, marked as missing. The group began to move. Suddenly, Titans were seen heading toward them. The scouts who had gone back to retrieve the body had drawn their attention. A warning flare was fired. Levi, frustrated, said it was impossible to fight on open ground with no cover, but Erwin noted to continue moving. They could still make it back to the walls faster than fighting. The scout who had recovered the body dropped it when a Titan nearly struck him. Another scout was caught by a Titan. As one Titan closed in, John wanted to fight it, but Armin said the gear wouldn't work well on flat land. Titans were still approaching. Armin suggested the hard choice. They had to let go of the corpses. The cart guards got ready to fight, but Levi stopped them. He ordered the chains holding the corpses to be released. Some scouts hesitated, but Levi reminded them that many others had also been left behind. These were no different. Though Levi wanted to fight, his injury held him back. The corpses were dumped. Levi watched Petra's body fall behind as the cart sped up. Once they were safe, they stopped to check their position. Levi walked over to a scout and handed him the emblem from his friend's uniform, his way of remembering those they had lost. Then they continued on their journey. In a dream state like, Eren and Mikasa once talked about not joining the scouts, but when the bells rang, signaling the return of the scouts, Eren had run to see them. His excitement faded into horror when he saw their wounded and bloodied state. As people around them whispered, Eren became angry and wanted to strike back at them, but Mikasa stopped him. Mikasa is calling him, and then he wakes up in his nightmare. He asked about the female Titan, and Mikasa told him it escaped. Eren then asked about the mission. Mikasa said it had failed, then she told him to rest. They were almost back at the wall. When the scouts entered the city, the people watching were disappointed. Eren was frustrated, but he saw a child excited and smiling at them. That small gesture gave him pause. Still, the mood was heavy. The soldiers knew the mission had failed. Later, Petra's father approached Levi and spoke about her. Levi remained silent, showing no emotion. Commander Erwin was also approached by the public. They wanted answers about the soldiers who had died. The heavy losses from this expedition caused public support for the Scout Regiment to drop sharply. Then, the government summoned Erwin and his officers to the capital. They were ordered to hand Eren over. The 57th Exterior Scouting Mission was meant to be a step forward, a bold charge toward reclaiming lost ground and discovering the enemy's secrets. Instead, it ended in devastation. Eren was nearly taken, Levi's squad was lost, and the identity of the female Titan remains unconfirmed. Yet the mission proved one thing: humanity is not safe. There are enemies inside the walls. And the war for survival has only just begun. If you've made it this far, you're one of the real ones. What did you think of the 57th Exterior Scouting Mission? Did Erwin make the right call? Drop your thoughts in the comments. Like this video if you're ready for the next arc, and don't forget to subscribe, because more Attack on Titan breakdowns are coming, and you won't want to miss what's next.